electricity and water up with the moon. Every month you hear the fix coming soon. And the labor life for this pure misery, oppression, depression and tyranny. This gang is a menace, 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 menace to society. Life in SKN, this ain't no joke. Like the whole country growing up in smoke. One Mr. Smiley and 10 money one. Busy fighting, jockeying for position. Lord have mercy upon all of we. With this menace, menace, menace to society. Government buildings, well them the worst. We infrastructure seem like it costs. Electricity and water up with the moon. Every month you hear the fix coming soon. And the labor life for this pure misery, oppression, depression and tyranny. This gang is a menace, 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 menace to society. On SKN, this ain't no joke. Like the whole country growing up in smoke. One Mr. Smiley and 10 money one. Busy fighting, jockeying for position. Lord have mercy upon all of we. With this menace, menace, menace to society. Lord, SKN in a serious dilemma. Now that the country been run by labor. This pure mayhem, scandal, disorder. With this Labour Party in power, is this a social club in disguise? Or some kind of criminal enterprise? What a menace to society. This administration turning out to be. The PM got a so-called advisor, telling people how to get away with murder. This non-stop attack on the treasury with paper daddy and man mix sorry. This Labour bunch shot to the core, lacking integrity, that's for sure. Economy stalled, hard life crippling. We a collective menace, menace, menace to society. It's like it's all cheap and no Indian. It's like lunatics running the asylum without a plan. Ideas or structure is the people who left to suffer. No pub, no peace, bare unemployment. No money for bills, much less enjoyment. Total advantage, that's with fake. Under these enemies of the state. AAG, Connecticut lawyer. He really a proper plain labor third politician now for sure. Going from door to door in number 4, law and order not a priority. No one in charge of the nation's safety. DAD joined the cult of the greedy. He just a menace, 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 menace to society. Government buildings, well them the worst. We infrastructure seem like it costs. Electricity and water up with the moon. Every month you hear the fix coming soon. And the labor life for this pure misery, oppression, depression and tyranny. This gang is a menace, 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 menace to society. Life in SKN, this ain't no joke. Like the whole country growing up in smoke. One Mr. Smiley and 10 money one. Busy fighting, jockeying for position. Lord have mercy upon all of we. With this menace, menace, menace to society.
Pleasant evening to everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered. I am your host, AZARD GUMBS, Deputy Political Leader of the People's Action Movement, Attorney at Law. And with me in studio this evening, we have none other than the Political Leader of the People's Action Movement, Natasha Shani Gray-Brooks. Good evening, Natasha. How are you doing?
Good evening, Azad. I am doing well. I'm here on a Sunday evening, so that speaks wonders for me.
Yes. Welcome to Unfiltered. I know this is not the first time you've been on Unfiltered, but it's the first time you've been here alone. And so I welcome you.
And it's a pleasure to be here. And I trust and hope that your viewing and listening audience is tuned in. And I'm saying a pleasant good night to them. And I trust that we'll have a wonderful show.
Yes. So we know, and we want to start it off. Over the past week, there has been some articles being circulated. One in terms of the new PAM leader being you. That has been said to have been penned by William Liburd. And another one that was penned indicated that myself as Deputy Political Leader was kicked out of the number 4 constituency. And so I think it's time for us to make some announcements, clear the air, so to speak, because it has been in the media and persons have been asking questions. A number of persons have called me since seeing that, message me since seeing that I have been, quote unquote, being kicked out. And I had to assure them that that is not the case.
That is correct, Azad. I find this week has been a busy week in social media. I somehow think that it did some good for Pam because I've had so many friend requests on the different social media platforms. I was wondering what did I do so special this week or this past week, but I think attention was drawn to me, and so persons want to know more about Natasha Gray and know more about Pam. And so I thank those who had whatever hidden agenda. I thank those for that. I too have seen the articles that you referred to, and I dismissed both of them as, you know, somebody clutching at straws and utter rubbish, really. Let's deal with the first one. And I know some persons may not want me to rehash things that may have tried to put a negative light on the People's Action Movement, but I think it is incumbent upon me as the leader of the People's Action Movement to set the ear straight, set the record straight, and clear the ear.
So before we go on, there are persons who are saying that they cannot hear us clearly, and so I have you okay. So because I want to make sure that persons are able to hear clearly what is being said. And so, as we said before, and I'm going to repeat myself for those persons who did not hear, the People's Action Movement had been in the news this week. We had two articles, both published from the same media house, one indicating that he had been penned by William Liebert, speaking about the political leader of the People's Action Movement, another being penned by the same media house, speaking about the deputy political leader, myself, being thrown out of constituency number 4. We are here to speak about those articles and to address those articles. So, Madam Political Leader, you may go on now, considering that the volume is back.
Okay, I'm glad that we can be heard. I used to hear my grandmother and other persons say people don't back stone at empty mango tree. And I think this is exactly what happened this past week. You have stones being thrown at me, stones being thrown at AZARD. But we will not be shaken and we will not be deterred from our agenda and our focus, which is the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, the first article speaks or tries to indicate that it is from one of my constituents. It is a shame for anybody to try to use an individual who has contributed significantly to society. This gentleman is in the home, the Grange, getting care and nursing assistance. And some thwarted minds thought it fit to try and, pretend to be Mr. Liebert. And I say that with no apology and with no water in my mouth because I know Mr. Liebert's situation. I mean, even just a few weeks ago before this article, my team and I were planning certain things in relation to Mr. Liebert. And so for people to try to make it look like Mr. Liebert penned this article is a desperate attack on Mr. Liebert. It is a desperate attack on Mr. Liebert because here we have people trying to use this goodsman name to make Natasha look bad, to make Pam look bad. Well, for me, it didn't work because there is desperation in certain sectors of this society to try and make themselves relevant at any cost. at any cost, and we are going to protect our elderly, our persons who have contributed to society. If when people want to dirty their name and put their name on articles that they have not written. And I trust and hope that the Lord will continue to strengthen Mr. Liebert and give him the care that he needs in this present time, so that the persons who are behind this scheme can be put to shame. And I think that is the end of it. I mean, our party made a response and all that, but I am not going any further on this matter because it is rubbish for my part, and it shows how desperate some people are. And I'm going to continue the work of the people. I am not going to let anyone dictate my pace. If you want to set a pace, well, set up your own shop in St. Kitts and Nevis so that you can do things how you feel.
Yes.
So that was Mr. Liebert, but I'll let you chip in, Azad. I don't want to steal your thunder. This is your show.
No problem. Yeah, so just to make sure, the mics are back up and it's sounding great now. And so we have Rusty who's calling in. Rusty is calling in now. Yes. Hold on. Rusty, you're live on air.
Yes, thanks for allowing me in. I'm late for class, but I must join in on this particular show. I want to make a comment. I heard political leader Natasha Shani speaking. I understand what she has said, and I want to believe her. I desperately want to believe her. Not on the Liebert stuff, because I too was trying to get in touch with Liebert to find out if he really wrote that kind of stuff, but she has cleared it up for me that it is somebody pretending to be Liebert. But do know that somebody is from within your own party. That's one. It's not so much people who don't like us as trying to kill us. It's people who don't want us. They're the ones who just try to hurt us. And after that, I'm going to make this one statement. I'm hearing that AZARD is no longer the deputy political leader and that kind of stuff. I get lots of calls here. Lots of calls. AZARD, I just call you and tell you when I hear stuff and that kind of stuff. And I want to make this point. I heard that you're no longer the chairman for Constituency 4. And if that was done, I think my party needs to really get its act together, because they fully well know that is not a position for the PAM party. I was chairman of PAM. Well, I like to say chairman in inverted commas, a PAM. I was chairman of Central Bastille. I was coordinator of the Young PAMites. And I was still trying to run for Central Bastille. And what they did, what my party did, instead of them doing the usual thing to all parties, where you go and you bring your constituency and they voted who they want for the leader, they didn't do that. They picked 3 from the executive and 3 from the constituency, and one lady, I ain't call her name, one lady, a lawyer lady, she decided to go Antigua so she don't become part of the decision-making body. And then they come and vote and they gave the other person the seat in front of me. As that, to me, it seems they're doing the same thing to you. Shani, Mrs. Brooks, they're doing the same thing to you. You all might not see it now, but the people in PAM, they got their mind who they want. I don't know what kind of rich family I come from, but I know I ain't come from a rich family. And it seems to me my party don't want people like us inside there. And Azad, you are the person who is the only voice for the party out there right now. You're the only person doing anything that I can see. I see you on Facebook. I see you on the radio. I hear you on the radio. Nobody else, per se. I do see Shani doing stuff in the constituency on Facebook page. I don't see much other people doing anything else. But no, these people who ain't like you are doing this, and they call you all kind of names. And I have to be, listen, don't tell me about the name. Call yourself. Tell me about yourself. It is ridiculous. And it hurts. It hurts me a lot to see my own party who's struggling to get some votes. struggling to make the voters out there. And in our party, we fight against each other. What kind of nonsense we doing? We want this. Listen, the person who win my seat in Central Bastille, when he won the seat, everybody in Central Bastille come, almost everybody in Central Bastille come. Rusty should have been you, it should have been you. But diameter difference, nobody said anything at the point in time. Azad and Shani, you have 3 more years as political leader. Watch and see what's going on. If you can't speak your voice, they can't make your decision, they'll call you weak. They're out there calling you weak. They're out there saying you ain't this and you ain't this. And they don't know what's going on behind the scene. They don't know. And those are the things that really bug me. Anyway, I want to make that one statement. You have to see what y'all say afterwards. I have to go to class. Don't want to miss my class. Thanks, Azad, for allowing me in.
Thanks for your call, Rusty.
Okay, so
Rusty
that's
said a mouthful.
we now segue in to the second article.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mr. Liebert, for your contributions. I trust and hope that you have a wonderful day in Taiwan. Now, let me say this, and let me say this with no water in my mouth. I have come up in the People's Action Movement. I came up in the People's Action Movement, and I spent the majority of my adult life in opposition. I intend to change that very shortly. But I say that to say that I have observed a number of the processes within...
We have a caller, sorry.
Okay, very well.
Go ahead, caller. We can't hear. Could you... Yeah, could hear now. Hello?
Yeah, hello? Yeah. Good evening, man. Good evening to you and the party leader there.
Good
You can
evening.
hear me, right?
Good evening, Burl.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Burl, just to make sure you're aware what we're speaking about. We're speaking about the 2 articles. We're speaking about one that spoke about me being thrown out. And so those are the things that we're speaking about right now. And the political leader was going to address a question. So if you have a question in relation to that, you can make a question in relation to that so the political leader can answer that as well.
Okay. Thanks for that. And I'm thanks for having the leader on so we could clear up these articles and clarify for the people. So directly to the leader of the party, right?
Yes.
I want to ask, right? For some of us out here, we don't know the inner workings of the party. Is there any way you can give us a brief synopsis of how you came up to be leader of PAM, like right now? I mean, for those persons who weren't keeping abreast. And the previous caller said that AZARD is out there in the public, right? Is there like a reason why AZARD is not like the leader of the party? And how did that work? How did that work in terms of the internal affairs of the party?
Okay.
Because, for us out here, we will just look at this popularity contest, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And another question after that is PAM on track in terms of focusing on the next election coming up in 2 years? 2 years is not that far out. Are you ready? And that's my contribution for now. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay, let me try to address your questions as well as the previous caller's statement so that any other callers can understand what are the workings. And I will try my best to say as much as I can about the internal affairs, but again, those are internal affairs, and so they are not public. So, Mr. Burke, was it?
Burl.
Mr.
Burl
Burl.
Jones.
Okay. How I became the leader. The Honorable Sean Richards indicated sometime early last year that he would not be vying for the position of political leader. His term would have come to an end. The term of political leader is 3 years. After that, the rank and file of the party can decide whether or not to vote for that person again, or if someone else is interested, they can also choose. And so, with Honorable Richards indicating that he's no longer contesting that position, the position became available at the last caucus. I did not wait until the caucus came up. I declared my interest. In fact, even before me declaring my interest, a number of persons had reached out to me to throw my hat in the ring, so to speak, and I did. And I am not sorry that I did, because my main purpose is serving. And whether I'm the most popular, whether I'm the strongest, whether I'm the fittest, once I am working for the people and ensuring that the principles of PAM are put forward, and I do that without fear or favor, I feel that I am doing what is expected of me. So the post became available. I threw my hat in the ring. When we had our caucus, you have persons from different constituencies, and also the women's arm and the youth arm, and they were there in relation to the decisions. The position was uncontested. There was no other applicants or no one else nominated for the position, and I was declared the winner uncontested. So that is how I became the leader. In relation to Mr. Gums, I'm going to get to that, because I don't want anybody walking away with any misconceptions. And that is exactly what it is. AZARD Gums has been the chairperson of constituency number 4 for, I think it's over 3 years?
5 years.
For 5 years. There you go. So, Rusty, you're my friend and I know you. You know that we have a constitution. Persons within PAM know that we have a constitution. And the constitution requires of the different constituencies that you elect an executive every year. AZARD has been doing well for constituency number 4. He has held the post for 5 years. But AZARD has higher and greater ambitions. He has higher and greater ambitions, and I think he has made it public that he is interested in becoming the candidate for constituency number 4 at the next election. And so, AZARD did an honorable thing. AZARD ensured that no one can question what results come about in relation to his candidacy, because no one can point any fingers at him and say, oh, because AZARD is the chairman, AZARD selects who he wants. And oh, because AZARD is the chairman, he cook up things to make sure that he becomes the candidate. AZARD wanted to ensure that there is transparency in the process. And I commend him for that. And instead of people commending AZARD, an attorney at law, noble profession, instead of people commending AZARD for taking a stand, no one kicked out AZARD. There was no election. The party has not declared anything in relation to constituency number 4, but there are some misfits out there who has an agenda and want to cause confusion amongst our supporters. And when I saw that article on Facebook, I was between sleep and wake. I messaged AZARD and I said, AZARD, do not comment on it, and I'm not afraid to say it. I told AZARD not to comment because it gives people more to talk about. But, you know, the ill will and the intention of some persons, they are hard and fast on ensuring that they can jab Pam and jab at the leader. Even in that article I was spoken about, but okay. And if at the end of my term and AZARD feels that he wants to contest the leadership, then we are a democratic party that is up to AZARD. No one can dictate who wants to put their hat in the ring. AZARD has clearly indicates that he wants to be a candidate. You rightly said, Mr. Burl, that AZARD is out there doing work. And so AZARD wants to ensure that whatever process which he knows about, I think Rusty spoke about it, 3 persons from the constituency and 3 persons from the national executive, that is the constitution that I met in place. And if I can't follow the constitution of our party, I will be failing. I will be failing our supporters and failing the country, because if I am not able to follow Pam's constitution, that means I can't follow the nation's constitution, and I will not be brought into disrepute for failing to follow processes. And AZARD knows the processes. I've spoken to AZARD more than once, even before AZARD became an executive member. AZARD used to be a returning officer. So AZARD knows the Constitution inside out.
We have another caller. Caller, you're live. Caller?
Hello? Hi, good evening and peace to all of you, and God bless you all. Madam Political Leader and Deputy Chair. It's Lincoln David Pell here, for the Deputy Political Leader for the People's Action Movement. I just want to say thank you for both of you to go and clarify and clear up what is being said about this entire issue. Because I think people understand democracy must go. And even in some countries, they will realize these kind of things happen to prevent, as the political leaders say, somebody crying foul that the person who is the chair and going for candidate put persons up, there is a part of the whole thing to make sure that person is elected. And like you said, I want to congratulate AZARD for doing that. And he's doing a good job in the constituency, and everybody sees that. But he's also one of the deputy political leaders that is even higher than the chairman of the constituency.
Exactly.
You know, so people should see that at the end of it, even in, let's say, let me use the United States, for example. You will realize if you want to go from mayor to governor, you have to give up one of those things. And it's the same thing happen here. And then if he is the candidate and still the chairman, there's a lot of things he has to do. Because he has to now focus on getting himself elected and still campaigning, which will be too much for him. And as I understand that, and I'm 100% behind him to do such thing that is, and he should be applauded for it. And just by saying this, I want to make sure everybody understands. As the political leaders, and as I would have mentioned, there was no forcing or anything. And therefore, we should just go behind him now to support him to become not only the candidate, but be elected. And that's what the People's Action Movement is all about, to get all our candidates elected. Because we are 100% behind our political leader, and we are 100% behind our candidates to make sure that the People's Action Movement form the next government in this beloved country of ours to bring back prosperity again in our country. Our philosophy, our motive right now is to make things in it prosperous again. So I just want to say thank you very much for accepting my call, and I hope the nation, those persons living in the nation and those living overseas, will understand a bit of the process. That's the democratic process. First thing we should understand, we are following the constitution of the People's Action Movement to make sure that what has been done is followed according to our constitution and the process. So thank you very much. God bless you all. God bless St. Nevis. God bless the People's Action Movement.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Just to say, too, as well, we know that the election for the last caucus, and there were a number of our names in the ring. It was my name, Natasha, I think Miss Morton, they had a poll about that as well. And I had, at the time, indicated...
Just to say, a poll that was not sanctioned by Pam.
Yes, a poll that was not sanctioned by Pam. And I looked at the poll, I looked at everything, and the comments. Of course, there were persons encouraging me, and I looked at it, and I called the NOB political leader, and I gave her my support. I said, I am interested in running for the deputy political leader to give her my support. At the time, I was the chairman of the party. I knew my interest in becoming a candidate, And so I thought it best to transition from chairman into the deputy political leader. So it cannot be said again that having an interest in becoming a candidate, I will have been in some advantageous position as the chairman of the party, the chairman of the constituency. So I then decided to go for the deputy political leader and allow the administrative arm of the party to accept applications for candidacy and to run the administrative arm of the party while I focus on the constituency and the politics of the day. And so there's no hard feelings as relates to, I do support our political leader. I see the hard work that she has done. In fact, when I first came to the party, I was the assistant general secretary and our political leader was the general secretary. So I worked with her as her assistant. And so now she's the political leader. I am the deputy political leader, and we are continuing to work with the party to ensure that the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is better than what we met it.
Azard, you're making me feel old, because I don't remember what post you came in at.
Yes. I remember, because you were the general secretary at the time. Yes.
Okay, all right. But, and that in and of itself shows that we can work together, and we have been working together. I mean, if you put us in the courtroom, that might be a little different. It might be a different thing because I have my client's interest to protect.
Yes.
But when it comes to the politics of the day, Azard and I, we are on the same team, we are on the same path, and we are interested in serving our people and making sure that St. Kitts and Nevis and the citizens and residents are better off. We see what we are going through right now, and together as a united force, Azard and I, along with our team who will be unleashed, will be able to show the people that People's Action Movement is about the people, progress, and prosperity. So all those persons who want to attack, my back is broad. I've been learning, and I've been learning well. And I am not going to let anyone distract me.
Yes. Thank you, political leader. We have another call. The phone?
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Okay. For some reason, the volume seems a bit low on my end.
We could hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Guns, I'm calling in as a constituent of number 4, and I must humbly, with respect, applaud you for what you have been doing for some years now. As I could recall, because we are roughly around the same age, and I could recall even at church you have been very instructive and helpful at church and also within the community. And I could even go as far as back before even your interest in politics. But what I must say that I can see that you are definitely, you have been doing the groundwork to fit yourself in for the candidates for constituency number 4, and I can definitely tell you that you have my support and my family's support. So I know you have been doing a lot of work, and I know that you will continue to do the work for the party, and I trust that when election time come around that you can be the candidate and you can also be successful at the polls. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Azard, you have supporters.
I must say, the article when it was published, I said this is going to cause so many rift, and I know I wanted to respond. The political leader said not to respond, but I must say I am so humbled by the support and encouragement that I've received. We have another caller. Caller, you're live on Unfiltered.
night. Is this Brother Azard?
Yes.
Good night. My name is Welcome. I think I had a few conversations a couple of weeks back.
Yes.
But my colleague just told me chime into WinFM.
Yes.
Now, I didn't hear when the program start, but anything about politics. No, I am in tune with such. First of all, I must say, congratulations to stand up, to being a candidate, to do the best you can moving forward.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm profoundly congratulating you. But as I stand, there are many people with great meaning well for the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
And my thinking is, whether you are a PAM, a Labour, or an independent, we are all traveling a different road but one mountain, right?
Yes.
Stand for correction. And like I said, to me, politics for the due diligence of people and the good of people, and I'm talking about the people of Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, should be good for the people because we all are coming from the people, and we all should be representative for the people. And we are all humans. And apart from the recycled politician that been there and flip-flopping palm labor, or whatever party if they were involved, they are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, if there are new candidates should enter, we all should collaborate at the end of the journey. And we all should respect one another. And I, for one, I don't know if you heard, I have bid for office already. I have bid that I am a candidate. And I am running as an independent.
Mm-hmm.
But being as an independent, it doesn't mean that I am not with those who meant well, for the people. Because we are going in the neck of being of use to the people and the human grounds. And we must respect humanity. So, whatever constituency you are running in,
Yes.
and whatever I am running in, I know I am bidding for 8. I don't know where you are bidding, but regardless to
Constituency number 4.
Okay, I have empathy for you as a new candidate.
Yes.
I look at you, yes, you are in a party, but I still look at you as an independent. But if you are in a party, so it be. My aim is if I win my seat and you win your seat, and other independents win their seat, and to whom it may concern win their seat, all I can say, I will collaborate with them. But if they continue or practice or develop kleptocratism, I am going to be on their ass like a ton of bricks. Because this is not about a constituency, this is about the federation.
Yes.
And we all should unite and help each other so we could have a productive country for the good of the people moving forward. And like I said, I am going to look into you and hear your portfolio or what you stand for. And if it's go in harmony or if it go beyond mine, I mean, we all can speak the exact same tune. I will back you up. And vice versa, if I'm talking the due diligence to the people, I will anticipate you will back me up too, whether you know me or know me not. But our demeanor is what counts. And I hope that you will understand what I'm saying. I mean good for the people, but we are tired of the recycled politicians who being kleptocratic, and we don't need them.
Okay. Thank
They
you.
got a chance. messed up. Yes, I'll let you speak. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much, caller, and continue to do the work that you're doing to make our country better. Thank you so much
And
for.
I am expecting to see you. I am expecting to collaborate and talk with you, communicate with you, and we're there. If I am needed, I will be there in your corner. And to all other independents who make a stance and mean their stance and will stay in their stance, I will be with them also. Thank you for the time. And your other colleague that is there, I will say good night and may God bless you all.
Good
And
night.
your family.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your call. We have another caller. Caller, you're live on Unfiltered.
Yes, good night. A blessed night to all.
Good night.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. A short and quick. Sam did great from 1980 to 1995. If Pam want return, Shani and Mr. Gums, young people, it's the young people time. If Pam decide to go back in as government and he decide to go as a collegian, Pam got to be on first. So Shani will, example, if she want to join a collegian or XYZ, she got to be as prime minister. Short and sweet, safe home, God bless Pam, government.
Thank you for your call, caller.
Thank you, caller. I'm not an athlete, but I always think that when athletes run, they try
We have another caller.
They try to come first.
We have another caller. Caller live on.
Okay, yeah, Azad, I just want to get back in real quick.
Yes.
Back straight to the leader, right? I want to get a focus on when Timothy became prime minister with one seat. Pundits, or whatever they call that word, are looking at that as a grave mistake by especially Sean, the then leader of the PAM. What is this? What is the leader currently, Shani Brooks? What is her outlook in terms of that? We are also seeing coalition government might be the next arrangement. What is she is looking down the road? What is she preparing herself for in terms of when the votes come in, the results come in? What is she preparing herself for? I mean, are we going to make the same mistake again? Are we going to join? As a matter of fact, there was a comment by the Prime Minister recently at his round table, I think that was, and he put a comment out there, and he's advising Pam not to join up with PLP. So I want the leader to, if she can, respond to that comment by Dr. Drew, and what is she looking at doing with her being the leader of PAM if that situation arises? Because as we know, the government got to be formed ASAP with whatever scenario they have to go towards to form that government. The chips may not fall how this PAM leader, current leader, may want the chips to fall. So what is she preparing for going forward? Thanks a lot.
Okay. Burl. Okay. I don't know if you want me to call you Burl or Mr. Jones, but as I told me, Burl. No, I've heard all the discussions. I've seen all the posts. I mean, posts where you have leaders of three parties as collision 3.0. Let me say this. I have had no discussions with any other political leader of any party about coalition. However, the People's Action Movement continues to focus on strengthening our party, increasing our seat count. Because winning elections is about seats. It is not about who has the highest number of voters, because you could have 10,000 voters but don't have enough seats. And we have shown that we were willing then to work with other political parties. We've worked with NRP in the past. We've created great results. We've worked with PLP. We've worked with CCM. However, that coalition came to an end. Some people call it the best thing that's ever happened to St. Kitts, and some persons call it a mistake. The PAM is about good governance. We are about ensuring that the people of St. Kitts get the best, St. Kitts Nevis gets the best representation. Of course, we are open to discussions with other parties that share our values. We are not going to compromise our values and our policy goals. But if we are to enter into any agreements after the next election, that agreement must ensure that we are committed to accountability, transparency, and the well-being of our citizens. As I was saying before you called in, Mr. Jones, I'm not an athlete. You spoke about Dr. Harris becoming the prime minister with one seat. However, any political leader of any party, their ambition must be to become the prime minister. And so Natasha Gray-Brooks, her intention is to become the prime minister of this federation, coalition or not. And so I will continue to do the work. I know some people sit down and say all kinds of things, whether I'm electable or elected, but I will continue to show the good people of this nation that I am for the citizens and residents, regardless of the constituency. And so Natasha Gray-Brooks is not going to do anything to put Pam at a disadvantage. And she's also not going to do anything to put the people of St. Kitts and Nevis at a disadvantage. And I trust that that answers your question, because I'm seeing all kind of things. And I'm hearing all kind of attacks on my name in relation to whether I can or whether I cannot. This girl or lady from Newtown is not to be deterred. She's not to be distracted. Yes, I did not win the last election when I ran. Everybody understands the circumstances that those elections were under. But trust me, I'm putting in the work even more than the last election. We are doing our best as a party to make sure that we get the best candidates for the job, because we are not going into this thing to lose. And I know AZARD is listening me and he's hearing me. The People's Action Movement will continue to do the necessary to ensure that we are in government after the next election.
I'm told that we have 3 calls. So callers, keep on the line. Let's hear we have one. Let's go with the first caller. Caller?
Azad, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Azad, I was just listening to you. I want to say good night to your leader.
Good night.
I believe that caller sort of throw you off, because the question that the caller was asking, I think that the caller was correct, but I somehow don't think you're focusing. The country, the motto are the saying, country above self. I think that's what you have to look at carefully. The political party which you are leader of, it is at the lowest it has ever been. And permit me to explain why. You have so many valuable and important supporters and leaders which have left that party. And the leader of this party, a very good party. And I'm glad tonight that you're not wasting much time talking about Jew. Because we know when we wake up what happened to Joe when his son come up and disappear. And I hope that you don't get offended for certain things I'm going to say. I'm asking you to just play your cards correctly, because the party is in a condition it's never been in, and it really need energizing, revitalizing,
and we're mobilizing. And I don't think I'm seeing it. And I really hope that what you're saying, as you're focusing, I really hope that it turns out for the People's Action Movement and the country on whole. Let's go back to two consecutive elections, Mrs. Gray.
Yes.
Labour lost those elections. And you know why? Because they never had the third Labour. You are now battling three Labour. If you don't join up with Dr. Harris, you'll be battling PLP, Douglas and Joe Labour, and you have the overseas Labour. PAM has never battled three parties and won any election. I hope you understand that. I really hope you understand that. I will encourage you to have a discussion with Dr. Harris. I don't care what nobody says. That's the only way the People's Action Movement is going to get in any government, because you're battling three Labours, three parties. The other question I have is concerning Mr. Gums. Mr. Gums has basically become the face of this party. He has become the most popular candidate and person in this party. And it seemed like he had to fight his way to become the constituency lead candidate for Constituency 4. And we are trying to find out when and if all will be announced, and especially him, and if he has anybody competing against him. That's the question that people would like to ask. Have a good night and enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, caller. Okay, so that's the last caller, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your comments and your questions, caller. And you're entitled to your opinion, and I do not take offense to your opinion. Others might disagree. However, during my life, I've never seen everything as a straight road.
Okay, we have another caller. Maybe you want to note political leader. We have another caller. Caller, you live?
Yes, Mr. AZARD.
Yes.
I was a previous caller a while ago.
Yes.
I said I can't bidding for number 8. Well, I was glad to hear the lady voice, which is Shani, right? That's the leader for the PAM party.
Yes.
Well, Mrs. Gray, it is a pleasure hearing you, and I always would have liked to communicate. And if I may just give you this number, please jot it down, because I am interested in having a conversation with you, whether on the air or off the air, but whatever the occasion is. Area code is 347 460-8192. I am in the diaspora.
Can you just give me that one more
I'd
time,
like
please,
to wait.
caller? 347.
Area code is 347
Yes.
460 8192.
8192. Do you
And
share
I
your
need
name,
to
or
set you.
I just call you?
You could call me straight.
Okay, no problem.
And you could call WhatsApp also.
Okay.
But it is a pleasure getting in contact with you right now. And I will hope that we can further this conversation moving forward.
Okay.
I am not looking at any political party, but I'm looking at the due diligence to the people of the Federation of St. Kitts. If we can get a government going, okay, we cannot be party line. We cannot be supported of one set of people. You got to support everyone, whether they vote for you or they did not vote for you. You have a nation to take care of. And that's volume, that's mileage. So, in the spirit, I will campaign for you in another constituency. If I speak in bullcrap, call me out. And if you speak bullcrap, I will call you out. No favors. But if I have the things that we can have the same common interest, that is very good.
Yes.
And we could continue. I am not into any negativity, any kleptocratic, or dealing with misfits. They had their chance, and let them decide. Let the people make that decision. So you are a young, new person. Yes, you're in the politics, but you didn't win a seat. So if your chance to win a seat, it has to be a reason, because God is great. Allah Akbar. Okay?
Thank you,
But
Carlo.
I soon come home. And my words, I hope they are profoundly sincere. I have no negativity towards you, and continue doing what you are doing. Continue saying what you are will be said, and think before you talk.
Thank you.
So
I
that
appreciate it.
is my advice. And like I said, I will see you when I see you, but I wish we could have a conversation.
Yes, I will definitely call you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your time. Brother Azad,
Yes.
my colleague spoke very well about you. And just not to submit you in the present, in the person, I am already proud of you, and I have a positive spirit towards you in Constituency 4. Shani, wherever you are running, I will be with you all. Thank you. Bye
you.
for now.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. I think the previous caller was asking.
Sorry. The previous caller, he gave me some
He spoke,
advice
yes.
in relation to the party, and he said the party is at its lowest. I beg to differ, but again, I value his advice in terms of what he has suggested. And again, I repeat, the People's Action Movement have worked with parties before. And we are not about ourselves. We are about the people of this great nation. And so, if it is, we have to work with other parties to get the best results for St. Kitts and Nevis. We will do that. But again, it can't be at a compromise. We understand the agreements that we've been in before. We've learned from all of them. And the people have benefited from all of them. So, again, any decision to go into any agreement has to be well informed, well thought out, but for the benefit of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and not to compromise our values. We will not compromise our values.
Yes, I think the caller also asked about the candidacy in 4.
Okay, so we are having a convention coming up in June. I think it's June the 1st. I stand to be corrected, but I think it's June the 1st. And before then, you will have candidates announced, because we want those candidates to bring their crowds and bring their energy to our convention. So the process has started in some constituencies, namely constituency number 4 and number 2. And so though at least those are the low-hanging fruits, and we know that very soon there will be announcements in relation to who those candidates are. And I am excited to build out my team, because I know that I cannot save this nation alone. I will need the help of a strong, vibrant, and energetic team, and I'm excited to get them on board and into the public.
Yes. And so that was for one reason why you heard about constituency number 4 and constituency number 4. We have another caller. Caller? Okay, good. We have another caller. Yes. Caller?
I just want to quickly tell Miss Gray that I commend her for her response. However, Miss Gray, please do not wait until after the election. Try and see how you can have a conversation.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just clarifying.
Please.
I understand.
I'm glad you respond, because I know some people say, never me again. No, it's country above self. Make sure that Pam, as you said, is not putting at disadvantage. I agree with you with that. But we have to try our best to get rid of this government. That's all. I want you to understand that I'm with you and for you. But we don't want to waste valuable time. That's all I'm saying.
I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, caller. Yes. And so in constituency number 4, there are changes that are going to be made. As I said before, I've announced my candidacy. I've made it known, and because the time is near, the selection for the candidate is very, very close. And so that's why you will be seeing in number 4 a new executive body in preparation for the election, selection, appointment of the next candidate for constituency number 4. And again, when it is done, I of course have placed my application forward, and at the end of the day, I would like that, as had been indicated, no one can say that he who received the application and wanted to be the candidate was the same person reviewing the application.
Can I just ask you a question? That I'm not the host of the show or the interviewer.
Yes.
But let me ask you: have you been kicked out of number 4?
No.
Okay,
There is no one who could kick me out of
right
number
now.
4.
I see all kind of things peddling on social media
Yes.
again, but a time and place for social
Yes,
media.
yes.
But it's just ridiculous. And say what you want about me, I will continue to lead the People's Action Movement, and I will lead them to victory.
Yes, they had it from our political leader. The People's Action Movement is strong. We are here. We are making the preparations to ensure that you get the representation that you deserve. We know that under this administration, the Labour administration, things aren't going well. Just yesterday in my constituency, while I visited some of the business owners and just had a conversation with them, especially some of the contractors as well, and many of them are saying what we already know. The economy is slow. One of them told me that, we have dew, but dew falls in the night and it's cold. And he likened the coldness of dew to the coldness of the economy, because the economy, since under Dr. Terence Drew, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, has been cold. The people of St. Kitts and Nevis deserve warmth. They want an economy that is thriving. Another issue that is dear to my heart is the housing. In constituency number 4, many persons who grew up in that constituency have to oftentimes look for areas outside. Some persons have to rent. The rent is extremely high. We want to make sure that the people of number 4, and by extension the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, are given the tools to ensure that they can build. We know that the cost of building is high. We know the cost of material is high. And that is something that our party would have to look at going into the next election, how we can make it affordable for the average man and woman, the person who comes back from university, to have a home, to construct a home. We also have to look at the fact that this Labour administration touted that they're going to start a housing revolution. I was looking forward to it, because I said at least there would be persons who get in homes. My disappointment to date has been that the East Coast arrangement has not worked out, and it has not worked out to the detriment of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Just last week I saw persons who support the Labour administration tooting the number of vehicles, an increased number of vehicles at our shores. And of course, yes, we are happy that persons are able to buy vehicles, but I thought that the Labour supporters will be more satisfied to say that they have increased number of homeowners rather than increased ownership of vehicles. And so when it is that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, or when it is that the Labour Party can toot its horn, that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis have more homeowners, then I think then they would deserve a round of applause. But they don't deserve a round of applause. No. We have a very slow and stagnant economy. We have persons who are in need of housing. We have electricity going off almost every day.
And water.
And we are here to say that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis deserve better. Just last week, our political leader, or the week before, our political leader took to the streets. She went in East Bastille. And those persons who saw the video saw the deplorable condition of the road. And so there is a representative in constituency number 1 who's also the Deputy Prime Minister, who I'm sure used that road as well. And so we are making sure that the Labour administration, that we put their feet to the fire, because it's all about accountability. I have a representative in Constituency 4 who the people elected the last election, a headless representative. I spoke about the roads in the constituency. I made a video about the roads in the Conyers area. Just the other day, I passed the Conyers area. Same way I mentioned that the roads is a little better. But it could be much better. They keep making temporary fix. Temporary things putting over. It's like a band-aid, but the cut is pouring. Sew up the cut. Don't just put a plaster over an open wound. So this Labour administration, you wonder what work they are doing. They have increased their salary. And I often say to the people, they've increased their salary because they know that the economy is rough. They know things aren't going well. And by increasing their salary, they are not in tune with the average man and woman on the road. Many of us, we have an economy here and we're struggling, but we are encouraged to do better. They are not encouraged to do better because instead they do not feel the pain that the people are feeling. Do not feel the pain. They increase their salary by 33% when they have not done a work for a full term. Half the term done gone already and no work they produce on the plane. I spoke to a constituency yesterday. You know what he said to me? He said it seems as though they are qualifying themselves to be pilots. The number of times they're on a plane is as though they are qualifying themselves to be pilots. That's the only reasonable assumption based on the number of travels that they take. And what they do, they don't even inform us when they're traveling because so much and we've been taking account of their travels. Last week I spoke about the Prime Minister and how the Labour Party must be shivering when he comes and speaks about his plans and initiative that don't bear fruit. This week I see that they have a press conference and all of them together. Well, I look forward to see what they're going to say. I hope they're saying things that are going to benefit the people of St. Kitts and Nevis because we're tired of the idle chatter. We're tired of the idle talk. I was looking at a documentary the last time and it says sometimes when you talk your plans, the dopamine in your mind, it makes you feel as though the plans have already been executed. And I said that person is talking about Dr. Joe. He talks so much about his plans that he feels as though the plans have been completed. So he talks about the new hospital and feels as though the new hospital is there when nothing has been done. Talk about the 2,400 homes. He feels as though the 2,400 homes are there and nothing is done. We are saying it's time for the good doctor to retire from politics, and the People's Action Movement will retire the good doctor, and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis will do the same.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you for being on the show, Political Leader.
It was my pleasure. Azad.
Yes. You could see the passion. I'm ready to support you. I'm ready to continue to hit the road and for under your leadership for us to take back St. Kitts and Nevis.
Thank you, Azad. We will continue to push through. I know some persons want to look at me as the underdog, look at us as the underdog, but when they see the work that we will continue to do in this great nation, they will have no choice. They will have no choice. And we are ready. We are ensuring that we put things in place. We are discussing national issues, and we are making sure that the interests of St. Kitts and Nevis, the interests of our people, is taken care of. That is all we are concerned about. We are concerned about country. We're not concerned about ourselves. We are concerned about country, and you will see it borne out in all the different constituencies and floating over to Nevis.
Thank you, Political Leader. Stay tuned for another episode next week, God's willing, of Unfiltered. I must say, St. Kitts and Nevis in a dilemma now that the country has been run or being ran by Labour.
The views and opinions expressed in this program were solely those of the participant or caller and do not reflect the views of WinFM 98.9. WinFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who in WinFM's considered opinion is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM. Radio never sounded like this.
Radio never sounded like this, sounded like this.
98.9. Win FM.
Win FM.
St. Kitts and Nevis listens to
Win FM 98.9.
Win FM 98.9. You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join AZARD GUMBS, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on Win FM. Join AZARD GUMBS as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered every Sunday evening on Win FM 98.9. It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join AZARD GUMBS, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening.
Run by labor, this pure mayhem, scandal, disorder. With this Labour Party in power, is this a social club in disguise, or some kind of criminal enterprise? What I mean to society, this administration turned it out to be the PM that a so-called advisor, telling people how to get away with murder. This non-stop attack on the treasury with the daddy and man sorry. This Labour bunch shot to the core, lacking integrity, that's for sure. Economies down, hard life crippling, we a collective menace to society. It's like it's all cheap and no Indian. It's like lunatics running the asylum without a plan, ideas or structure. Is the people who left to suffer. No pop, no peace, bare unemployment. No money for bills, much less enjoyment. Total advantage, that's we fake. Under these enemies of the state. AAG, now they get lawyer. He really a pamper playing Labour third politician now for sure. Going from door to door in number 4, law and order not a priority. No one in charge of the nation's safety. DAG join the cult and the greedy. The PM got a so-called advisor, telling people how to get away with murder. This non-stop attack on the treasury with the daddy and man sorry. This Labour bunch shot to the core, lacking integrity, that's for sure. Economy stalled, hard life crippling, we a collective menace to society. It's like it's all cheap and no Indian. It's like lunatics running the asylum without a plan, ideas or structure. Is the people who left to suffer. No pop, no peace, bare unemployment. No money for bills, much less enjoyment. Total advantage, that's we fake. Under these enemies of the state. AAG, delicate lawyer. He really a pamper playing Labour third politician now for sure. Going from door to door in number 4, law and order not a priority. No one in charge of the nation's safety. The AD join the cult of the greedy. We just a menace to society. Government buildings, well them the worst. We infrastructure seem like it costs. Electricity and water walk with the moon. Every month you hear the fix coming soon. Under labor life all this pure misery. Oppression, depression and tyranny. This gang is a menace to society. Life in SKN, this ain't no joke. Like the whole country going up is smoke. One Mr. Smiley and 10 money one. Busy fighting, jockeying for position. Lord have mercy upon all of we. With this menace to society. Government buildings, well them the worst. We infrastructure seem like it costs. Electricity and water walk with the moon. Every month you hear the fix coming soon. Under labor life all this pure misery. Oppression, depression and tyranny. This gang is a menace to society. SKN, this ain't no joke. Like the whole country going up in smoke. One Mr. Smiley and 10 money one. Busy fighting, jockeying for position. Lord have mercy upon all of we. With this menace to society.
Unfiltered. Join AZARD GUMBS, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on WinFM. Join AZARD GUMBS as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered every Sunday evening on WinFM 98.9.